All right. There we are.
I can see the stream output.
All right. You can minimize that too, so you can see the chat. It looks like we have somebody in the chat room too.
What?
I know. Weird, eh?
Well,
I wish I could see. I can't bring it up. Okay, I'm going to minimize this.
That's what she's...
All right. Oh, that Gregor's here. Hello, that Gregor. Good of you to join us this evening. All right, here we go. Brad, you ready? Let's go.
Yes.
All right.
Ooh. Ha, that was pretty hot.
Yeah.
I had that turned up a little high.
That's hot.
That's totally hot. Okay. Oh, yeah.
3, 2, 1. Welcome to the Alien Invasion number 238, recorded on Thursday, March 1st, 2018. I'm Dave Nelson, along with Brad Ludwig. Hello, Brad.
Hello.
We have coming up 60-year-old UK UFO mystery solved, a Ferris wheel UFO in the sighting segment, and our picks and warnings feature. Before all that, though, our question. And the question is as follows. As soon as I start the record again. Bam. All right. Here's the question. Questions incoming. Where is it? Where's the questions? Okay, here we go.
Are right here, dude.
All right. If you could remake any alien movie from the 1950s or 60s, which one would it be and why? And I know you've got a great answer for this, Brad, because you are a fan of 1950s sci-fi.
Oh, God.
I have one that you're kind of thinking about that might fit this.
You know, right now, more than ever, and I know it was just redone, and it makes me sad, but, oh my God. Now I've got it mixed with the title of the episode, a Star Trek episode from a writer I absolutely despise. Fucking Harlan Ellison. Sorry. Jesus wept. The Day the Earth Stood Still. I think right now would be even more poignant than ever. Jesus wept.
Hang on. I'm getting your audio. Okay. Continue. Sorry.
Yeah. So, yeah. I would choose that.
All right. Okay, 1 second. Hang on. I need to change something. I want you to do is tell me again what you just said. Give your answer again, please, sir.
Dave, I would choose The Day the Earth Stood Still. I think now it's as timely as ever.
Why do you say it's timely as ever? Give me...
Well, especially with the news today that Vladimir Putin released to the world that he's got a brand new nuke that could... And the video shows it like these warheads striking Florida. And he's saying that NATO really has no defense against this. So we've just totally full throttle re-entered the Cold War.
Yeah, well, it was nice while the not Cold War lasted.
Yeah, it was a pretty sweet decade and a half, 2 decades.
For those who enjoyed the first Cold War, here we go again.
Yeah, everything old is new again, Dave.
So you think that the message of the Earth, or the day the Earth stood still, would resonate in today's modern society?
Absolutely it would.
All right. Do you have anybody in mind for the actors for this remake? And don't say Keanu Reeves, because he did a terrible job in that other one.
Trying to think. You'd want something kind of
You'd
Big
want to.
box office. I would almost go for maybe
Benedict Cumberbatch.
no
No? Okay.
Bradley Cooper, or trying to think of an actor that would really just I would feel could totally nail that. Yeah, that's kind of got me on the spot. I'm not. There's a lot to choose from, and I'm not sure who I would choose for that.
Okay. Well, how about we do this, okay? I will give my answer,
Mhm.
and kind of mull that over. We'll swim back around. We'll circle around to your response to that second question, okay?
Sure.
So I'm going to say Plan B from Outer Space.
Plan 9 from outer space.
Plan 9.
Plan B is a pill.
Yeah. That could be interesting. It's a
Well,
mashup. Combine the two.
it'd be something.
No, Plan 9 from Outer Space would be interesting to remake, but I think it would lose some of the luster if you made it big budget, make it slick and great special effects and all that. I think it would have to be low budget, like along the lines of like Sharknado.
So you're not talking really big budget there. You're talking medium budget with a lot of cameos.
Yes.
Oh man. After watching Ed Wood, there's no way I could take a remake of knowing what Plan 9 was all about, how it came to be.
Okay.
I just don't think that you could remake that.
I have a secondary answer.
Okay.
The Blob.
I think we're about due for another Blob remake. It's been what was it? The Erica Laniak was in the last one. That was like the late 80s, I think, or early 90s.
Yeah.
So I think we might be due for another Blob.
All right. So in the time that I took to answer the question, do you have an answer to the person that's going to star in your remake of The Day the Earth Stood Still?
Neil.
Neil.
Is it Sam Nielsen? Is that who I'm thinking of?
Sam Neill?
No. God dang it.
Samuel L. Jackson.
No.
Sam Shepard.
Yeah, it's totally Sam Shepard. You nailed it. No, it's not Sam Shepard. No, it's Sam Neill. I would choose Sam Neill for the main character. I don't think he's gotten.
You're talking, okay, the character that Keanu Reeves played in the remake, that was the alien, right?
Correct.
What was his name? Kuatu?
Yes, Klaatu. I believe. Hang on.
Or is that...
I've got too many things running through my head right now.
I like to challenge Brad's memory.
Yeah, it's every day. My memory gets crappier and crappier. Let's see. So, just to make sure, yeah, it's Klaatu. Yeah, I would do Sam Neill.
Okay.
because I think that he's got the look and the gravitas. I think that could pull that off. I just yeah, that's what I would go for.
Okay. All right. So those are our answers. If you have answers of your own, we'd love to hear what your 1950s or 60s alien invasion type sci-fi movie you would like to get remade. Aliens at gncasts.com. All right. Hang on. All right. All righty. Let's get into the first news story. Where are we at here? Here we are. So who are we doing first? We're doing yours first. Okay. All right, Brad, just jump in whenever you want.
Oh, I'm doing the first story?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. All right. This story was sent to us by our good friend, Daryl Johnston.
You mean UK Gnome?
Yes, the UK Gnome. And contributor to the Galactic Network.
Yeah, he's got a great Doctor Who podcast called Who Knew and Reviews.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. And he sent... this is very interesting because I had no idea that this existed. And I'm assuming if you're from the UK, you totally know all about this and you're into UFOs. You're aware. Yorkshire UFO mystery solved 60 years after flying saucer found on moors.
Oh my God, there was a flying saucer that was found?
Yeah, 60 years ago. There was a crash, like wreckage from a crash that was what the people thought was from a small UFO found in the moors in the UK. This was in North York, and 3 men found something that was saucer-shaped one night in 1957. And this was soon after the Sputnik launch from Russia. And this landed, and I'm probably going to say this wrong, and I totally apologize. I'm going to say it's the Silpho saucer. Vanished without a trace as soon as the 3 men who found it cut it open when they took it back to town. Photographs show the copper base of the object that was inscribed with hieroglyphics that one of the men compared with Russian lettering. Now, the hieroglyphics were also found on the wreckage of the UFO that was allegedly crashed at Roswell in June of 1947. When the Yorkshire object was opened, a tiny book made of, and I remember this, I didn't remember the UFO, but I remember this story. 17 thin copper sheets were found inside and held in place by a coil of copper wire. The sheets were covered in more hieroglyphics, and these were deciphered, get this, by a Scarborough cafe owner, Philip Longbottom. He claimed they contained a bizarre 2,000-word message allegedly sent to the Earth by an alien called Ulo, who wanted to warn us about atomic warfare. It contained the warning, "You must improve or disappear." So this Scarborough cafe owner, Mr. Longbottom, deciphered strange alien writings.
This guy is a genius.
He is a freaking genius. I hope he has like a national chain of cafes throughout UK and beyond with that kind of intelligence behind him. For decades afterwards, UFO enthusiasts drew a blank in their quest for the missing saucer, although some claimed it ended up in a scrapyard or had been on display in a fish and chip shop in Scarborough. But for half a century, the missing pieces of the puzzle have been sitting inside a tin cigarette box at the Science Museum's group's archive, more than 200 miles away from the wild moorland where they found this object at the height of the Cold War.
What a weird story. And
Yeah.
it's very British, too.
It is incredibly British. Papers in the museum archives reveal the remains of the Silpho Moor object were sent to London for examination by experts in 1963. The specimens included a fused section of the metal and plastic from the outer casing, a length of hollow copper tubing, and tiny pieces of foil from the booklet, that 17-page booklet that we mentioned, was also sent along. The Science Museum passed them to Gordon Claringbull of the Natural History Museum, who specializes in meteorites and explosives.
What a combination.
Well, it kind of makes sense because, when a meteor enters the atmosphere, it becomes a meteorite, and with the pressure of the air against it, it will explode. So I can see where those two things would mesh, and that makes sense. So when he took a look at it, he said that he found nothing unusual in the samples. In a memo to the Science Museum, Claringbull said that he was prepared to wager anything that the pieces of metal were made on Earth. Now, tests carried out by Manchester University revealed the object's shell contained lead, and the copper parts were of highly unusual high purity. But a metallurgist concluded it could not have arrived on Earth from space, as there were no evidence of it having been exposed to high temperatures.
Oh, that's depressing.
A little bit. Now, UFO expert Jenny Randles, who read the report produced in Manchester, said she believes it is the most costly and well-organized hoax that has ever taken place in Britain. And this last sentence by her just really caps this whole thing. The hoaxers never seemed to gain from it, and whoever had it built spent considerably more than the £10 the finders reportedly paid for it. So there you go. It's copper, it's plastic, it's 17 pages of copper foil, like hand lettered in hieroglyphs and bound together by a coil of copper wire. There was a lot of time, effort, and love put into that.
Yeah.
And far more than £10 worth.
Yeah. I'd like to know the story behind it. Like, who were the people that, set it all up, created the this craft, this supposed craft, or the supposed wreckage from the craft, and the booklet and the writing, all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
Like, how did they know that it was the same lettering as the Roswell crash craft?
I think that they were saying it's not necessarily the same lettering, but they're describing the same type of lettering. Does that make sense? They're describing, they mentioned hieroglyphs at Roswell, and they're seeing hieroglyphics here, but they don't necessarily have a direct comparison. It doesn't sound like.
I think, we were talking in the question segment how the day the Earth stood still would be perfect for the day and age that we're living in. Mm-hmm. I think a UFO hoax with a warning of some kind would be perfect as well. Get your poop in a group, or else you'll be the end of your it'll be the end of your people, your world, whatever.
That sounds like the worst product you could buy. Poop in a group.
Poop in a group.
I don't think that I would purchase that.
The trouble with trying to perpetrate a hoax of that kind in this day and age, nobody would believe it. Or they would figure it out right away that it was a hoax.
Yeah, I would totally agree with that.
It'd be like fake news.
Yeah, we've really become jaded as a society.
Could be something staring us in the face.
Yeah.
that's obviously real, and we'd be like, no, I don't believe it. This
Nah,
somebody
no.
made this up. It's fake. Whatever. Go to Snopes. All right.
You're not wrong.
Great story, Brad. Again, thanks to Daryl
Yes,
Johnson
thank you, Daryl.
for feeding this one. I had never heard of this case before. You said that you were familiar with this, right?
I remember because as a kid, I was absolutely fascinated by UFOs. Actually, in 6th grade, the first report I ever had to write academically, I wrote about UFO sightings.
Wow.
Yeah,
I didn't realize that your love of this subject went back that far.
it did. And, much to my parents' chagrin and my teacher's chagrin that I was writing a report about UFOs, but whatever. I was 11. Who cared?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Speaking of childhoods, my childhood, I was a big fan of the TV show In Search Of. Remember with Leonard Nimoy? I heard or I read a story recently that it's coming back, and guess who's going to be the host of the show?
Oh, I heard about that. It's Siler. Zachary Quinto.
Zachary Quinto. So he's not only doing the role of Spock, played by Leonard Nimoy, but he's going to be the host of the show that Leonard Nimoy hosted in the 70s.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. And I've got, it's going to be the next episode. I've got a pick that has something to do with that. So,
what?
Yeah, little tease for you right there.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Thanks for the story, Brad. It was awesome.
It was.
All right. I never thought about that. Since we're recording 2 episodes at the same time, we could tease the next episode. On the second episode, though, we couldn't tease the one after that. So maybe we should do it. Okay.
Yeah, for the sake of consistency, I think you are correct.
All right, here we go.
Poop in a group.
Let's get our poop in a group. Okay.
That's like, I want that to be like, I got dibs on a band name called Poop in a Group.
You've never heard Poop in a Group before?
No, not that I can recall.
Okay.
I mean, it's like the obvious, clean way to say get your shit together, but.
All right. Be careful. We're on Twitch now.
Oh, whoops.
Oh,
forgot about that.
We'll probably swear all the time. Those punk gamers.
I think as long as I don't wave my junk around on the camera, I think we'll be okay. I have no desire to do that. I'm just saying, theoretically speaking, nobody wants to see that.
All right, here we go. The sighting segment. All right. Okay, this is the part of the show where we review a sighting of some kind, something somebody saw in the sky, lights, an actual real object with a shape and everything that may or may not be a craft of extraterrestrial origin. And this sighting comes to us from the year 1959 or 1960. And it comes to us from the website sightings.com. And I'm pretty sure they posted this. I didn't check the date, but just the way the website was, it looked really old, like 1990s or early 2000s website action. So this one is titled The Gilroy, California Ferris Wheel UFO. And this is all verbatim from the guy that reported it. So it's kind of like MUFON or New Fork. My grandmother and father lived in a house on Coyote. Anyways, Coyote Lake.
Wait, what?
Coyote. How would you pronounce that? It's not Coyote, is it?
Yeah, that's Coyote.
Oh,
Coyote Lake. Yep.
I guess I haven't seen it spelled for a long time.
There are times when you look at a word, you're like, I'm pretty sure I've seen that word before, but right now I got nothing. So I feel your pain, buddy. Don't worry, don't sweat it.
Coyote Lake or how it's pronounced by some people, Coyote Lake, above Gilroy, California. They also had a small cabin below their house near the lake, which had been their vacation home before building the bigger house above. I would stay with them every summer. To the best of my memory, the year was 1959 or 1960. They had a big picture window overlooking the lake, which was maybe 15 feet out and 25 feet down from the cabin. The lake is around a mile across and several miles long. At that time, I always slept there by myself. So they were in the main house, and he was sleeping in the original cabin on the property.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Okay. This had such an impact on me that I still have a vivid memory of what I saw. I saw from the top of the window what I thought was a Ferris wheel on its side, descending down towards the lake, turning very slowly. I remember looking back at the pot-bellied stove to see if a reflection from the fire was being mirrored off the inside of the window. I remember putting my face right against the glass. This wheel had colored lights very similar to a Ferris wheel. I even remember thinking there must be something going on down the road at the cantina. Not spelled right on the text here, which was a bar and dance floor. Like they must have a Ferris wheel set up, and this is the reflection. All of these things were going through my mind. The object kept getting lower and lower until it was not far from the water, the whole time turning slowly. It was gigantic. Of course, I was only 9 or 10, but if I had to guess, I would say it was at least as big as a real Ferris wheel. It was about 30 degrees of horizontal. It finally lifted up slowly until it was out of sight because of the top of the window frame. That was it. I've never seen another UFO in my life, but I know what I saw that night. I refused to stay in the cabin by myself for a very long time. Many years ago, I was watching a UFO show. There was an eyewitness to a UFO. I know it was back east. The UFO that guy was talking about and the drawing they were showing was identical to what I saw. I was blown away. So, old memory, way back 1959, 1960, of this guy growing up, staying at his grandparents' house by the lake, the cabin, and him seeing a Ferris wheel, horizontal Ferris wheel one night. So that's interesting.
That is bizarre.
I guess I'd be freaked out too a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
What?
I think you're absolutely justified.
What age was that? He said he was 9. No. That's here somewhere.
15,
yeah, 9 or 10.
9 or 10, yep.
So that's a very impressionable age.
Yeah, that's going to leave a mark in your mind, as it were.
That was back in the 50s and 60s, though. People grew up faster back then, I think. But still, still pretty young. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What kind of carnival ride would you want to see as a UFO? I'd like to see a not the tilt-a-wheel, but the cyclone. You know, the one where you get inside and you're against the wall.
You're pinned against the wall, yeah.
Yeah.
Funny story about a ride like that. A friend of mine, Rob, you remember Rob?
Yes.
He was on that ride, and he always wears a wallet with a chain. And what ended up happening is the G-forces pushed him back like it's supposed to. So he slid up. But what ended up happening is his chain sort of slipped off to the side, and he had enough mass that he sort of bowed the board a little bit, so the chain got into a gap. So when the G-forces released and the board snapped back into place, he was like pinned into, he couldn't get out. And they actually like had to like close the ride down for about 10 or 15 minutes just to free him because his chain was stuck inside of there, and they couldn't really duplicate the G's all that easily without, actually firing it up again and trying to, make sure that the chain was, one, freed, and two, didn't go back in.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I'm guessing they put that in the rules after that incident. Like, if you're
Probably.
or anything else that's dangling from your pockets, please remove them.
Yep, he became a rules addition because somebody did something goofy. He became that guy.
Oh, Rob.
Yep.
Oh, that guy. That freaking
guy. The Gravitron, that's what it was called here.
All right, I'm done recording that.
Yeah. That
right.
Story's over.
Terrible story, Brad. Terrible.
Story. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I guess you've got the pick, right? Yeah, because I did the citing. You get the pick. Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we're going to talk about something that we read, watched, I don't know, played, something entertainment-wise related to extraterrestrials and aliens in some shape or form. And Brad, from the title of yours, this could be very interesting.
No, it was all right. I don't always go to Hulu for movies. But occasionally just to mix it up. And, over the course of how long have we been doing this show?
2011.
So we've been doing it for quite some time, and you start to really kind of branch out to different things. So I went to Hulu and I found a movie called Alien versus Zombies, or in some parts of the world, it was Zombies versus Joe Alien.
Weird.
Yes.
Why Joe Alien?
I don't know. That's a good question. And in fact, the cover image, or the image that they show when you select the film on Hulu, doesn't look like either the zombies or the alien. It's like they took a stock photo and did something really fancy and cool with it, and they don't really look like that at all. So I felt a little robbed right out of the gate.
What year was this put out?
This was put out actually in 2017.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is an Asylum. Asylum? Is that the company that puts out all those B movies?
No, I don't think that it. Hang on.
Asylum. The ones that they put out, Atlantic Rim.
No, this was 2017. Yep. And it was released. Yeah, Alien versus Zombies and. Oh, okay. The original title was Zombies versus Joe Alien for the US. It was Alien versus Zombies. So we're the special ones here in the US. What you can't see is the implied air quotes that I put around the word special. Yeah, it was released February 4th of 2017. So it's been a little over a year now that it's been out. It is very much an independent film. It has that vibe. The effects are definitely those that you could do in like After Effects, like Adobe After Effects. I would say it is a good. It feels like a good first time out movie for somebody as a writer and a director of a small film. The film is only an hour and 15 minutes. And it is kind of an interesting twist. And I hate to use twist, but the basic premise is an alien comes to Earth, is expecting things to be kind of interesting and all of the information that his people have intercepted. And he looks like a normal human being. That's, he's of course wearing the disguise of a human. But everybody on his planet has a certain perception based on the media that they've intercepted and whatnot. And he gets there and it's a zombie invasion has happened. It's finally happened. So he gets there and he meets his first human, and the first human he meets eats his hand. And he has the ability to basically to regrow the hand, so it's not that big of a deal for him, and he seems to be immune to the virus that causes this zombification to happen. And he meets a young girl. She's probably somewhere between 12 and maybe 11 and 13, somewhere in there. And he sort of strikes up a bit of a friendship with her, and he loves the Earth, and he has the ability, which not all of his people do, but he has the ability to actually travel through time for a short period. But he has to do it through a person. So basically he essentially wears their body. It's like a quantum leap sort of a thing. He leaps into their body of the person that he's touching and goes back to that particular moment in time that he's trying to get to. The unfortunate thing is the person that he does that with, when they come back through time to go back to the point at which he entered the time stream, the host body essentially disintegrates.
Okay.
So there is a distinct limitation to that. So he takes it upon himself to find out what actually happened. And his hope is to stop that apocalypse from ever happening. So that is the purpose of the film. It has a bit of comedy. It has a bit of drama. It's IMDb. It has a 3.8 out of 10. And their rating. And, honestly, I'm going to give it, out of 4 flying saucers, I'm going to give it, I'm going to give it 2.5.
Okay. I mean, you're being honest,
I am. It's, like I said, it feels like a first-time effort. So the acting isn't at a really super high par. It feels like everybody's just starting out in their fields. So it has a roughness, a rawness to it that only a smaller budget independent film would have. So the story is, in and of itself, it's very engaging. I like the limitations that they give to the time travel, and there's quite a bit at stake. And this vacationing schlub just kind of falls into the wrong place at the wrong time and discovers actually something incredibly sinister going on behind this zombie outbreak happening.
Oh, so there's something you're not telling us.
Yes, I'm holding something back. There's a method to the madness.
Okay. And
he discovers what it is, and he's actually fairly disappointed. So,
all right.
Yeah, if you've got, like I said, an hour and 15 minutes or an hour and 10 minutes, it's on Hulu. Give it a shot and see what you think.
Yeah, it's not like it's a long movie. So if you don't like it, you're not wasting that much time.
Yeah, it's 70 minutes. So,
all right.
Boom.
Again, what's it called again?
It is called Alien versus Zombies, or if you are outside of the U.S., it is Zombies versus Joe Alien.
All right. We'll put a link to more information about it in the show notes.
Absolutely.
All right. And that's going to do it for this episode. Another one coming up, though. All right. Hang on. Where are we at here? Do you have a final thought ready?
Yes.
Okay. So that's going to do it for this edition of the Alien Invasion, a Galactic Network podcast. If you'd like to read more about the stories that we covered on this episode, click the links in the show notes. We'd like to thank Monkey Warhol for providing our intro music, the song called Alien Syndrome. You can find out more about his stuff at Monkey Warhol. That's, if you don't know how to spell Warhol, it's WARHOL. monkeywarhol.bandcamp.com. Also, thanks to Ruttward von Dernberg, a composer from Germany, for our closing song called Be Water. His website and his music is located at thecaravel.net, THECARAVEL.net. And finally, thanks to our good friend, Ben Olson.
Thanks, Ben.
For recording our disclaimer audio at the start of the episode. His website is benolson.com. Before we leave, final thought, Brad, what you got?
I saw Black Panther.
Don't say anything. I'm seeing it tomorrow.
And it was I've had to actually kind of sit and think about it for a few days, and not because it is a bad film. It's a different film. You'll watch it and it is unlike the other Marvel movies.
That's a good thing.
In my opinion, and it is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
And
hit them all the same.
Yeah, well, there is that, but I think we've reached a moment in history where representation of African Americans needs to happen a lot more in film, and it happened here. And what they put together was absolutely brilliant, and it touches on a lot of things that I didn't necessarily think about. And as I dug into some facts about the Black Panther character, because he's not a very high level superhero, but he is important. And what they did in the film really explained everything about Wakanda, what it stands for, what Black Panther stands for, and really firmly places him in the Marvel universe. And it was a good film, a very good film.
Excellent. Okay. We're going to have a couple of news stories in the next episode about some other Marvel films that are coming in our near future. So listen next time, and we'll talk about Marvel. Thanks, Brad.
Thank you.
Thanks to listeners, and we will talk to you all next time.
Bye.
Bye. Hang on. Stand by, viewers, if there are any. Let me just save the project, and then we'll start recording the second episode. Do you have a question ready, sir? Yeah, you do. You had one before I did.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I am on that.
You're on it like a bonnet.
Oh, yeah.
Alien Invasion number 238, right?
It is now.
Ah! Let me go up here. Number 238. Yep. Number 238. Damn. Bam. Damn bam. Damn ban.
Oh, Black Betty. Bam
Oh.
blam.
All right. Close project. And we're off to the races one more time. Here we go. Hope you caught your breath, because we're starting again. I think I need to change something. Yeah, because, okay, hang on. I gave the wrong. Hang on. Coming up, 2 Marvel movie aliens revealed. Ferris. Yeah, that's what I got wrong. Okay, it's not Ferris wheel. Give me a quick synopsis of your sighting. Just a couple of words.
Yeah. Sorry. My sighting is Sinister Cylinder in Remington, Virginia.
How do you spell that?
CY
Okay.
LINDER. Cylinder.
Cylinder in where?
In Remington, Virginia.
All right. Alien versus zombies. Nope. That was the old. And it's and our picks and warnings feature. Okay. And our picks and warnings segment or feature. All right. Feature. All right. I'm going to stop this because I've been moving too long. Start again. Here we go. Recording. Okay. Welcome to the Alien Invasion number 239. Hang on, let me start over again. Welcome to the Alien Invasion number 239, recorded on Thursday, March 1st, 2018. I'm Dave Nelson, along with Mr. Brad Ludwig. Greetings, Brad.
Hello.
Coming up, 2 Marvel movie aliens revealed. Sinister Cylinder in Remington, Virginia in the sightings, and our picks and warnings. Before all that, though, our question. All right.
That's just fun to say. Sinister Cylinder.
It is.
It's also a little bit of a tongue twister. I'll give you that.
All right. Jump in with the question, Brad.
Zip. All right. My question this week is based on a premise. That premise is an alien craft lands in front of you, Dave Nelson.
Okay.
An alien being exits and offers you one of 3 things. He offers you the gift of scientific knowledge. He offers you the gift of an indestructible item of clothing. Or you have the choice of a gift of a handheld weapon. What would you choose, Dave Nelson?
Oh, the first one.
Scientific knowledge?
Yeah, because you could use that the most. I don't want to hurt anybody, so I don't want a weapon, and I don't foresee me needing something indestructible. So I'm going to go with scientific knowledge because I'm sure they know a lot more than we do on this planet, because they're the ones gallivanting about the galaxy. So, yeah, I'm going to go with scientific knowledge because I could use that to better our planet, to better mankind, humankind.
Sure. Okay.
What is your answer?
Indestructible item of clothing.
Oh, why? Why?
You've read the news lately, right?
Oh, okay.
And quite honestly, it wouldn't be for me. I'd give it to the boy. So,
okay. Well, you know what? I figure that if I take the scientific knowledge, maybe I could use that knowledge to stop our trajectory that we're going in right now on Earth. Maybe, step in with drop some knowledge, and steer civilization the right way. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm looking more at the short term, and you're looking at long term. So good on you, sir.
But yours would not stop what's eventually maybe going to happen. But
that's very true.
At least you'll be protected. Or
like I said, I would give it to my boy. So
Alex would be protected. Yes.
Theoretically.
All right. Are these aliens? What do they look like? Tell me more about the aliens that just popped in.
This is just a thought experiment. It doesn't matter really what the aliens look like. So,
All right, just for fun though, what do they look like?
they are uh, uh, they are amorphous blobs that can shape themselves into anything.
Oh, cool. All right, that would come in handy because when you go from planet to planet, you could make yourself look like the indigenous species.
Correct.
All right, I hope we evolved into that. That would be neat. Of
That
course,
would be very interesting.
we won't be around for that, but
Yeah.
our progeny will be able to shapeshift. And then they could create their soldiers, call them, what did the founders call the, what were they? On
The
Deep Space?
well-regulated militia.
Yes. Never mind. All right, let's get into the news. The news. This is better news than the normal news, which is good. We're going to talk some comic book movie news.
What?
So get your Marvel knowledge. Get ready to drop your Marvel knowledge there, Brad.
Boy.
All right. Okay, so we have Avengers Infinity War coming up. That's the next big Marvel event movie. But there's a couple of other ones. Actually, you know what? Hang on. Let me back up a little bit. We have Avengers Infinity War coming up, and I have a story related to that movie right here, right now. Last Sunday, that would be February 25th, new Avengers Infinity War promo art was revealed, and it revealed a previously unannounced alien villain, prompting fans to begin speculating on the identity of the antagonist. Now, the Geek Power website may have confirmed the identity of the new foe, who will serve as one of Thanos' underlings. So, the Geek Power states that the mysterious villain is the leader of Thanos' Outriders, who appear to be alien antagonists who attack Wakanda. In the comics, the Outriders are genetically engineered creatures whom Thanos used to find new planets with weak inhabitants that he intended to destroy. Avengers Infinity War. Did I just see something that they changed the release date for that?
They pushed it ahead a week. So it's
What?
no longer May 4th. Usually they release a comic or a movie during the same time that Free Comic Book Day happens. Free Comic Book Day happens the first weekend in May.
Mm-hmm.
And that's usually the kickoff to the, coincidentally, the kickoff to the summer movies is that first weekend in May. They're pushing it ahead a week.
Wow. That's unusual. They usually go the other way. I wonder why.
Yeah, I didn't read a reason why. And I'm kind of wondering if they're looking to dovetail with the success of Black Panther. It's going to stay on screens longer. They have the potential of owning movie theaters.
Yeah, that's smart. Yeah.
They're going to have Marvel drilled into their heads when they go into the movie theaters. So I think that may be why they... Pure speculation on my part, but that seems to make sense.
I'd like to find out what other movies are being released on those weekends. Either May 4th or the new date, because that may be a factor as well. I don't know.
Now, let me take a look at...
Yeah, I was hoping that you would
I am.
that for us.
So... you know what? There's no real competition. Okay. They push it ahead to the same week that Animal Crackers, which
oh boy, they're in trouble.
I'm not. Oh, that is a 3D animated film.
I don't know how they'll compete with that.
Yeah, I don't know who's doing that, but whatever.
What was on the May 4th?
They owned it. Nobody was going to release a movie May 4th. Oh, I'm sorry. No, The Guardians was the other one.
Okay.
And there is no information on The Guardians listed for the Movie Insider.
Okay. All right. So maybe your theory is right.
Yeah, Selfie Dad, Kings, Armed, Bad Samaritan, Disobedience, Traffic. There's Paula Patton, Missy Pyle.
You know what? I'm super excited for movies this year because I got this last week from my job at the radio station. I got a free movie pass that I can use anytime I want.
What?
As much as I want. Yeah. So I'm going to see.
Crazy.
I know. It's like a media pass. So I get to, like, last year and the year before last and the year before that, it was all about money, right? You had to figure out the ones that you really wanted to see. I don't have to worry about that this year.
Oh, the other thing that they might be doing too, that would be smart. Deadpool comes out May 18th.
Okay.
So if they push it ahead a week, the majority of the people are going to go towards the beginning of, towards the opening.
Yeah.
And then they don't want to step on Deadpool's toes. I mean, these were slated before they purchased Marvel. So I'm sure that they're looking to, I'm sorry, not before they purchased Marvel, but before they made the acquisition from
20th
Sony, from 20th Century Fox. Thank you.
Yep.
So they're looking to probably not step on those toes. So,
do you know anything about the Outriders?
I had to look this up. They were introduced in a free comic book day comic in 2013.
Oh, so they're fairly new.
Yes.
Okay.
That was their first introduction, and then they were used soon after. And they are an engineered race, and they are kind of designed to, hit a planet, learn about it, destroy it, and then move on for the most part. They have kind of interesting powers here in the comics. They've got tactile telepathy, so they can read your mind if they touch you.
Okay.
They have invisibility. They have density control, which allows them to fly and cause physical disruption to the point of just becoming intangible. So they, like the Vision can walk through walls, they could do the same type of thing. But that's pretty much it. They have one job, and that's to serve Thanos. That's it.
Man, that must get boring.
And they have 4 arms. They're very creepy looking.
All
so
right.
they don't have eyes. That's another thing too.
That kind of sucks.
Yeah, they have some other. It doesn't really. I don't see anything here at first glance. They've got tactile telepathy, but they would have to touch something, so they must have some other kind of sensing organs, or they have exceptional hearing, like a bat, and use like sonar or something. I don't know, but
let's move on.
There you go.
We have a second. Thank you for the 411 on the Outriders.
Word.
We have one more MCU piece of news. Human star Gemma Chan. Humans was this show about androids, robots, that was in the UK, and I believe it was also on some other US cable channel. I forget. Anyways, she's going to be playing she played a synthetic android. Now she's going to play an alien scientist in the Captain Marvel movie. Deadline reports she'll play Minerva, Minneva, ERVA, an extraterrestrial geneticist and spy, better known as Dr. Minerva. The character, a member of the Kree alien race, is a definite baddie who regularly goes up against Carol Danvers and her mentor, Mar-Vell.
The reason why I'm laughing is this is such a big middle finger to DC Comics. It's not even funny.
Okay.
I think I mentioned earlier that Captain Marvel originally was a character by Fawcett Comics. DC Comics bought them out and then buried them. They kept them, but they decided not to publish any more stuff with them. And there was a huge court case when Marvel Comics decided to create Captain Marvel like 30 years later, 25, 30 years later. And DC said, hey, wait a second. We've got this character, Captain Marvel. We own that name. And it went to court. And the court sided with Marvel Comics, stating that, you didn't actively pursue using that that trademarked material. It is, and you had no intention by the testimony given and everything. You had no intention of dusting that off. So sit down, shut up. Marvel's going to take that name. Now, one of the main villains in the Fawcett Comics universe was Dr. Minerva. And he was an evil scientist with like thick Coke bottle glasses and a bald pate, and he just the sinister guy.
I've seen it. I think I've seen pictures of this.
Oh yeah. He was usually palled up with Mr. Mind, the little worm with the little radio around his neck that he would speak through. Yeah, absolutely ridiculous. But I mean, that is such a big middle finger to DC to call that character Dr. Minerva. I'm sorry, a bit of comic books history, and take it for what it's worth. But
no, I look forward, and we haven't done this for a while. We haven't done stories about either comic book movies or sci-fi movies on a few episodes. So it's good to catch up on where we're at in the superhero movie universe. So Jude Law is playing. I didn't know that Mar-Vell was going to be in Captain Marvel.
Yeah, he was Captain Marvel originally was a man, and he was a Kree warrior who was named Captain Mar-Vell. And many years later, they had the adventures, and many years later, he ended up, and it was like a huge story. He died of cancer. He was saving citizens like a hero does, and he got cancer from it, and there was no way to stop it. So it was like one of the first hero deaths that didn't. It wasn't like something that you could stop. It wasn't a bullet. It wasn't a ray. It wasn't any sinister thing. It was his own body. He got the cancer doing something heroic, and it was a price that he paid. And it was like one of the most impactful stories. And it was a graphic novel that they put out called The Death of Captain Marvel. And it was a big deal.
I think it resonates too, because that's something that people can relate to.
Yeah, absolutely. But it hadn't really been done in comics. No comic book hero died of cancer, for that matter. That was absolutely unheard of. So it was just like really interesting, and it was a good character study of all of these heroes trying to come to terms with this superhero who had done so much for so many, and there was nothing that anybody could do. So it was very impactful, and I have it in my library. So there you go.
Thank you again for that.
So, spoiler for people who are going to watch the movie, Mar-Vell is probably going to die. So there you go.
Or not. He may stick around. They may change that. Who knows? I don't know. Who else is going to be in the movie? Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury, and Rogue One's Ben Mendelsohn. He'll play the lead villain in this film. Are you excited about this? About Captain Marvel?
Absolutely. And I think I was reading some stuff online, like looking up some Easter eggs, maybe some things that I had missed in Black Panther. And one thing that spoiler alert, the character who we met in Civil War, played by Martin Freeman, a CIA agent, Agent Ross, Everett Ross, we find out in Black Panther that he was a pilot, like a top-rated pilot. And there's speculation that Carol Danvers was a pilot for the military, as well as Everett Ross, the way they've set this up. So there might be, crossover there, that Everett Ross served with Carol Danvers in the 90s. This movie takes place in 92 that's coming out. So it's actually going to be a little back in time, setting up some things. So,
now, is she like immortal?
no, she is not.
Oh, she's not. Okay.
No.
So I'm wondering.
Carol Danvers is a really complicated character because she kind of got the powers in an odd fashion, and then she was a female version. It was kind of like the Superman Supergirl dynamic. You know what I'm saying? There was a female counterpart, Batman, Batgirl, that same type of thing. And that's what that was. And at a certain point, they decided to strip her of those powers, and then she became a mutant. And then they really did a lot of weird things with the Carol Danvers character. And it's not until the past like 10 or 15 years, probably closer to 10, that they've really kind of changed her back to just being actually being Captain Marvel again and serving in the capacity that she does.
It's going to be neat if they would include a cameo with Ms. Marvel, the girl that will become Ms. Marvel. That would be neat.
Kamala.
Yeah,
I can't remember her last name.
Kamala Khan.
Kamala Khan. Thank you. Yep. Yeah, that would be kind of interesting to see if they do that.
Well, we'll see. I don't know what the release date of this is. Do they have a release date of?
I'm sure that there is. Give me just a second. It is releasing in March 6th of 2019.
All right, so a year from now.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Brad. Let's move on to the sightings. And Brad, it's your sighting, so jump right in whenever you're ready.
It is my sighting. I found something on the newfork.org website.
Oh, Brad, don't you New Fork?
Stop it. Curse you, Dave Nelson. No, it's it kind of jumped out at me. This happened February 22nd of this year, so just a little over a week ago from the time of this recording. And it's very, very interesting. And it only lasted for 5 seconds. That's what she said. And this took place in Remington, Virginia. And let me give you the rundown. A silver metallic object observed on low-level flight. I was in my backyard, which is open and looks into my neighbor's back pasture at about 1400 hours. There was a bright sunshine with almost no clouds present. I caught sight of a silver object in flight, moving at a high rate of speed across the neighbor's pasture.
Whoa.
Yeah. The object appeared to be bright metallic, silver-colored, and cylinder-shaped. I would estimate the size of the object to be 3 foot tall and 2 foot wide. The vehicle was traveling from south-southeast to north-northwest and appeared to be flying a set altitude from ground level, which would vary according to the topography of the pasture. I was at most 1,000 feet from the object at my initial observation and 75 feet from the object when it disappeared over the neighbor's house and trees. That's pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
There were no discernible markings or features to be seen on the object. No sounds were heard that would have indicated a conventional propulsion system. There were no anomalies noted that could relate to the sighting. Although a short duration observation, I was able to estimate the speed of the object by calculating the distance seen in flight versus the time observation. The vehicle was traveling approximately 250 miles per hour. Now, this sighting occurred the same day as USAF's NORAD was engaging in training exercises in the D.C. area, Falcon Virgo 1805. Okay, I have never seen a NUFORC note added to a sighting, and it's one of the reasons why I picked it. And the note that they added, and it says here, in parentheses, NUFORC note, we spoke via telephone with the witness, and he sounded to us to be quite sober-minded and sincere. We suspect that he is an excellent witness. And then it is the initials of the person that contacted the witness. So, yeah. This is probably the most well-written observation I've ever had the pleasure of reading.
Yeah, this guy... Is it a guy? Maybe. I don't know.
They say he.
Okay.
In the note, so I'm going to make that assumption that it is a male that reported it.
This guy either knows a lot about aviation or is in the military, because he's using 1400, using military time.
Well, the other thing I'm thinking, and I could see that, but I'm thinking based on the he's making calculations here. He could be sciencey at some level.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Interesting. I'm thinking this is a drone of some kind, because it's very small, 3 feet tall, 2 feet wide.
With that, excuse me, with the last line that he writes with the NORAD exercises, and the U.S. Air Force is involved. Yeah. I kind of wonder if that's not a drone of some sort.
Either that, or it is an alien craft, but they're tiny, tiny.
You remember that story from long ago from Weekly World News about the aliens that lived inside the heads?
Yeah.
It kind of reminded me of... what was it in Men in Black, the first movie? They're in the place eating the pierogi and the little tiny aliens inside the dude's, that basically it's a vehicle that looks like a dude in his head. Yeah, so it could be one of those aliens.
There was a TV show that was on recently that was about our government officials. They all had aliens in their heads, which would make a lot of sense.
It's, I wouldn't be surprised at this point. I really wouldn't.
All right. So, hey, we always say this. I always say this. It's great that we get these sighting reports from sources such as NUFORC and MUFON. But we would love if you had a sighting of any kind, and we've had listener sightings before. We'd love to get them from you so we could talk about it on the podcast. So email aliens@gncasts.com, aliens@gncasts.com, or leave a voice message, 805-328-3966, 805-328-3966. Huh. How does that go? That's right. What was that comedian's name?
Greg
Yeah.
Hahn.
Yeah. No, not Greg Hahn. The other Greg.
Oh, no. Greg, crap in a hat.
I've met him. I've met him before, and I forget his name. We'll think of it. He was a wrestler.
Yep.
Yeah.
Greg Warren. There it is.
Okay, there we go. All right, let's wrap up here with the picks and warnings. Picks and warnings. I can't find it now. Where? Okay, there it is. Okay, let's talk about something that is related to aliens or extraterrestrials in some way. I'm talking entertainment. You know, books, video games, movies, TV shows, what have you. And it's my turn this week to tell you about something that I enjoyed. And it is the movie The Fifth Wave. The movie version of the book, The Fifth Wave. I read the book, and I believe I used it as a pick a long, long time ago.
Yes, you did.
Yeah. But this time, it's the movie, The Fifth Wave. And my wife and I kind of forgot that it was out, and it was on Netflix. So we watched it last weekend. We actually watched the Cloverfield.
Oh, the Cloverfield Paradox?
Yeah, we watched that as well, and it's going to be a future sighting of mine. But this time we're talking about The Fifth Wave. And if you're wondering what The Fifth Wave means, it's different ways that these aliens were trying to defeat humanity. And I couldn't remember exactly what they were. So the first one is Lights Out. It was kind of like a massive EM strike that cut the power to things. The second wave was they launched like asteroids into the ocean to create tsunamis. That was the second wave. Third wave was a disease that killed humans. And the fourth wave was the aliens would occupy human beings, or they would look like human beings. That was the fourth wave. And then the fifth wave, children, teenagers, finishing off whatever the silencers, that's the name of the aliens that look like humans. They finished off what the silencers couldn't. They were like trained as a military unit. So that's the five waves. And it's pretty close to the book. Like, I remember the book very well, and watching the movie, it's like pretty much exactly how the book went, with not a whole lot of deviation from the, you know how sometimes they'll take a book and they'll change things.
Mm-hmm.
This one, they didn't really change it that much. And it basically follows this young girl. She's in high school as the movie starts. The invasion happens. She loses her mother to the disease, but her father stays alive, as well as her younger brother. And I believe, so their family comes to this like wooded area. It's like an encampment where some other survivors are hanging out. And these aliens disguised as humans in military garb, so they think they're the military, they come and take all the children. Because their excuse was like, well, they're important, we should save them first, and then we'll come back for you. Little do they know is the aliens were taking the kids and making them into soldiers. That was the fifth wave. So I forget what happens to the father. I think the father dies, but the daughter she's trying to make her way to the fort, the military base where the children were taken. And in the meantime, she encounters on the highway a sniper, a shooter, and she gets shot. She kind of blacks out. She wakes up in this house. It's nearby, and it's a person that saved her, basically. So she gets well enough, and she takes off and finds her brother, and that's how the movie ends. Now, there was other books in the series, and I'm not sure the way young adult novels are going these days in movies. They're not as popular as they used to, so I'm pretty sure they're not going to make the rest of the books into movies.
Sure.
You know, that was kind of a big thing for a while, but it's tapered off. That's just the way trends go. You know, something becomes hot, popular, and then it weans off and something else comes in. So I don't think we'll see movie adaptations of the rest of the book series. But this movie's pretty good. I'm going to give it 3.5 out of 5 flying saucers.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So that's right. We do it out of 5.
Yeah. So it's it's funny. It's the 5th wave. It would have been cool it would have been great, and I would have given it 5 flying saucers.
5 of 5, but
no,
not to be had.
Nope. 3.5. It was good, but not great. We'll have the link in the show notes to the Amazon link where you could watch it, stream it on your computer. And if you do, a little bit will come back to us because that's how we make some of our money. We don't make a lot of money. We make enough money to afford to keep the lights on. And that's one of the ways that we do it with Amazon links. So please click it. And while you're at it, do some other shopping, and it'll be helping us out as well. All right, and that's gonna do it pretty much. We'll wrap it up here. So that's going to do it for this edition of the Alien Invasion, a Galactic Network podcast. If you'd like to read more about the stories, sightings, and pics that we covered on this episode, click the links in the show notes. We'd like to thank Monkey Warhol for the opening music, a song called Alien Syndrome. He's got a whole bunch of stuff at monkeywarhol.bandcamp.com. Retward van der Berg, he composed the closing theme called Be Water. You can learn more about him and his music at thecaravel.net. Thecaravel.net. I just got an email from him. He's got some new music he wants me to listen to, so I will take a listen and let you guys know on the next episode what it's like.
Nice.
And also thanks to Ben Olson for recording our disclaimer. Oh, sorry. Also thanks to Ben Olson.
Hi, Ben.
For recording our disclaimer audio at the start of the Olson, at the start of the episode, not the start of the Olson. That'd be weird. His website is benolson.com. Before we get out of here, final thought, Bradley.
I just found this story. Here's the title of the story. Shock claim. Humans evolved on another planet and were brought to Earth by aliens. Name that website it came from.
UFO Sightings Daily?
Close.
No, weekly. No, one of the British websites, British newspaper websites. Right?
Warm. You're getting warmer.
Okay, just tell me.
Express.co.uk.
Okay, keep that story. We'll talk about it on the next episode.
Excellent.
All right. Thanks for watching. Oh, hey, I have to show off my shirt if you're watching us on either Twitch or YouTube. I've got a shirt that says Disco, and I'm going to show you, Brad, the arm. What is that?
Nice.
It's a Star Trek Discovery shirt, and
what
did you think it was?
A Discovery shirt.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Disco. They call the ship Disco for short, And it's one of the characters wear these shirts on the show when they're like exercising or whatever. So
Interesting.
yeah, there it is. My Star Trek Discovery shirt.
I just thought it was a goofy statement on 70s music, and then I saw the Star Trek thing on the side, and I'm like, okay.
No, it's Star Trek Discovery, my friend.
Boom.
That's it. All right. Thanks for watching. Oh, hang on. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll talk to you next time.
Boy.
That's going to be an edit. All right. We're gonna keep the stream going for a second here. That was 239, right?
Yes.
Okay. Asian number 239. We're approaching the 250 territory. It's pretty exciting.
We are.
All right. Just want to test something out before we get out of here. So I was looking at the light stream, and I want to see if you can add a destination. Where'd it go? Okay, right here. You can add destinations, and I wonder if you can do it midstream. So I'm going to Facebook Live. No, you can't do it. Okay. Yeah, I think you can only go to one place at a time. So, all right, that's it. I'm going to end the stream.